Then. Oh yeah, I was gonna figure out a way to make Discord less reactive. Because it picks up on like my clicking sounds too, and that's annoying. No other application does that. I've turned down... Yeah, turn down the input volume. Suppress background noise from your mic. That might be it. that's I don't know what to make of that. Okay, this is really nice looking art. Oh, you meant these Hot Pockets. I thought you were, like, these calzones. I thought you were talking about, because I was looking at my Discord audio settings and I said, packets. I thought you were, like, out of nowhere. I was like, what? Don't touch or you'll die. They're poisoned. Clumsy. The nickname, wait, what if we just... Yeah, there we go. No, wait, apparently I can't, because it won't let me click down if I do that. What? Help! I think we ran into a problem already. That might be interesting. Oh, it's because I left nothing in the nickname column, so I didn't know what to do. And it didn't let me click on it again. Okay, let us begin. As the days go by, it could not be more perfect. The sun shone brightly, the skies were clear, the birds were chirping. And I should be somewhere. I stared at the ceiling, wishing to sleep in for a few more minutes. Wake up now. Wait. Actually, realistically, being a representative of us. more like sleeping in. Much more likely to sleep in. Okay. It should be okay to sleep in a little. Maybe 5 more minutes. When I opened... That's what we all say. When I opened my drowsy eyes, the sun warmed my face, as if to tell me it was time to wake up. Shut up, sun. Crap, it's already midday. The earlier I can get to the guild house, the better chance I have of getting better quests. And the better the quest, the better the pay is. Once I got dressed and left the house, I realized I would have to try and find a shortcut. Choosing to get to the guild house by using alleyways would be the best method. Sketchy alleyways, but it's okay, because I guess we're adventurers, and we can take care of ourselves. The town almost looked different when you observed it from the back alleys. It was charming, and I could not help but gaze around in awe and wonder. What exactly are you staring at? There's literally, like, nothing. There isn't even dirt on these walls. They're suspiciously clean. However, it was soon apparent that I was lost. Very, very lost. True representative of us. It should have been around here. The only things I could see around me were stone walls, not even dirt. This was nowhere close to the guild house. I wandered along the lane, hoping for something, anything to get me out of this quandary. Okay. As I turned the corner, I came across what seemed like a small cafe, hidden amongst the vines. It looked small, but the aromas wafting from it were a painful reminder that I had not slept in. I could hear my stomach rumbling in response. Well, I doubt one small snack will take up too much time, that's what we all say. Taking long strides, I pushed the door and walked into the cafe. Nothing could have been could have prepared me for what was inside. It was small and empty, with a delicious array of desserts and treats lining the shelves and the display behind the counter. My stomach grumbled loudly at the sights and the aroma in front of me, loud enough to get the young man's attention behind the counter. Yeah, everyone gets hungry. This is a really nice cafe. I'd eat here. Yeah, who wants to be a heart apron person? Cricket. Cricket. His mismatched eyes were the first thing I noticed about him. They were distinct and pretty. I'm not sure why they made such an impact on me. And I just realized I didn't disable my VPN. which is why... Let's keep going. Smiling back at the young man, I replied, "Hi, what's the best you have?" Little did I know that the fateful encounter would change my whole life. But our name isn't Fiona. We renamed ourselves. What do you mean Salazar is missing? He calls us by our full name. This is really funny. Oh my god. Speaking of which, I'm gonna put our mug in the other corner. Okay. Leon's voice had dropped down to a whisper as he glanced furtively around the empty cafe. "There's no one else here, Leon. Why do we have to be quiet?" My words seemed to have made Leon self-conscious. He straightened up, opening and closing his mouth, as if he was a fish. As if to carefully choose his words. I kept going back to Cafe Amor whenever I could. The small cafe tucked away in the lanes had delicious food at great prices. Yum. I became friendly with Salazar, the owner, and Leon, the man behind the counter, since finding this place. Yeah, a very sudden time skip. Well, at least you didn't say he was going to the store for milk or cigarettes. I'm sure he'll be back sometime. Do you think he accidentally got heliported back home? Yeah, it's definitely heliported. With an exasperated sigh, he leaned forward and rested his forehead on the countertop. Wow, it must be bad if he's leaning on the counter. That's something he usually glares at me for doing. Leon had once told me that he came from a different world. Whoa, what's this plot twist? To be honest, it didn't make a difference in how we spoke to each other. But I suppose it explains why sometimes the most basic things confuse him, like how to tame fire spirits and avoid touching Branberry at all cost, unless using dragon scale gloves. Absolutely ruffle his hair. This is not an... It was far too tempting. I couldn't help but reach out to ruffle Leon's hair. The way it shone in the sun reminded me of wheat fields. What is this? One of those, like, cheesy Harlequin romance novels? A loud crash sounded through the cafe. Leaning over, I saw that a plate had fallen over and the remnants of a once perfect phoenix flan lay on the floor. That's so sad. That's such a waste. Hey, do you think I could run a sanitizing spell on it? What do you mean? What else happened? When Leon stood up once again, I didn't have the heart to tell him that there was a giant red mark on his forehead. Oh, that's concerning. Well, that makes two of us. I should probably offer to pay him if he's really broke and his boss is missing, but he can probably just make more desserts to sell. Meanwhile, I'm a warrior who had been banned from the guild house until today for a breach of peace. It's not my fault that elf tried to steal my coin purse. What? Oh, nothing. When he looked up at me, Leon looked afraid, if anything. I had spent a lot of time with him over the past few months. He could sometimes be nervous, and he hated— yeah, that's a long time skip. And he hated confrontation of any type, but this was the first time I had seen him look like this. Leon, we'll think of something. A loud crash caught our attention, and we ran outside the store. The alley, previously calm and secluded, was now a flurry of activity. I asked a passerby what was going on. Mally, you want to be this random passerby? I looked towards Leon to find that he was already looking at me, wide-eyed. We should go take a look. An awkward moment passed as we both tried to process what the other person had said. That's fair. No can do. The forest is right behind the cafe. What if the dragon comes here first, because the dragon is hungry? For the kitty burger! And so are we! Likewise, Leon. I cross town every day for the kitty burger. Leon gave me a withering glance. I grinned back. At any rate, I would be able to protect you better if you were close to me. The last time we saw a manticore, you shrieked. It does! Only the ones that argue too much. I tried my best not to laugh at his anger. We kept on bantering back and forth as we walked. It was far too easy to distract him after all. So much so that he didn't even realize we had made it to the forest by now. All of a sudden, Leon paused and looked around, up and down. As if to answer his question, a screech so fearsome that it shook the trees echoed through the woods. Judging by that sound, pretty close to where the dragon is. I pulled out my sword as quietly as I could, taking a step in front of Leon. I beckoned for him to follow me. Out of the trees emerged a dragon that seemed agitated, to say the least. That's a pretty small dragon. That should make it easier to distract. Do we need to make a save here? Maybe we should. Because I don't think we brought any with us. We could. Try to lure it into a trap. Quick, how can I use the terrain around me? Taking careful steps backwards while feigning attacks, I tried to lure the dragon into a more dense part of the forest. It would be easier to subjugate the beast if it had restricted movement. I could barely hear Leon's voice above the dragon's roar, but looking around, I couldn't see him anywhere. He became the dragon, or the dragon ate him. Panic welled up in my chest. Where did he go? I spotted him a little further into the forest, almost hidden by the foliage. Ducking under the dragon's latest attack, I made a dash towards Leon. When I got closer, I realized his gaze was focused on something else in the near distance. Without breaking eye contact, he pointed in the direction he was looking at. Oh! In the clearing, there lay an infant dragon, even smaller. Its right talon lacerated with injuries caused by a metal claw clamped around it. A cruel hunter's trap! Oh no! The dragon looked to be in so much pain, I dropped my sword and rushed in without thinking. Only to be knocked back against the nearest tree trunk by a mighty gust of the grown dragon's wing. I scrambled up to my feet. It's not actually that much smaller than the doll. I scrambled up to my feet, glancing at Leon. The fear hadn't left him, I could tell, but he seemed better than he was earlier. This has to be the infant's guardian. You have to somehow distract it so that I can free the baby from that trap. I could hear Leon audibly gulp beside me. Before I could protest, he had made a break for the clearing. Be careful, Leon! I couldn't afford to spare too much concern for him, not with the dragon zeroing in on me. The only thing I could do right now was to act as a diversion, so I did my best to not lose the dragon's attention for a single moment. Slashing here and there, I moved around the dense foliage, but I made sure not to land a single blow to it. Its large frame was encumbered by the branches and verdure as its cries rang in my ears. Good. Just have to keep this up for a bit. I was not sure if minutes or hours had passed, but when the shrill cry of an infant dragon sounded in the distance, I let out a sigh of relief. The dragon in front of me turned towards the source of the sound and, without sparing a glance, made its way toward the infants. By the time I ended up in the clearing, I saw a sight in front of me that I could never have expected. Aww, made a yipping sound. It's a puppy. The baby dragon lay on the floor, facing a cross-legged Leon, its injured paw on Leon's lap. The dragon affectionately nuzzled him and, in the process, almost knocked him over. Adorable. It wasn't until Leon had called out to me that probably 3 more times that he got my attention enough to go over and help him. Take care of yourself, will you? You worry me sometimes. It was true. He did worry me, but the truth was that he could handle himself just fine. It was then that I realized that Leon would be the most perfect partner for a quest. That's, let me count. The 4th time you've used that excuse today. Even while standing outside the guild house, Leon had been cycling through his 6 favorite excuses. You are in a set. You will be a great addition to the team. I don't think I have genuinely seen a baby dragon warm up to anyone so fast before. I will protect you from all the scary things, and we'll be splitting the gold in half. If you still don't want to come along, well, I can't force you. It would be fun with you, though. In the end, it was his decision. I had brought him here, but there was nothing else I could do at this stage. If anything, I would really miss the kitty burger meal and... What? Oh. No, tell me, please. You will? Really? Without thinking, I threw my arms around him. He responded with something akin to a gasp and a squeak mixed together. I don't know what the... There was an attempt. A little while later, we were back at the cafe. Our guildhouse trip was a success, and having received our first quest, we had to make a plan of attack. What would you need that nature couldn't provide for you? Leon, where do you think ingredients come from? The cafe was only inhabited by us and a couple in the distance. I looked over at them and smiled. Hey, you should give them a free drink, maybe one they can share. My voice dropped down to a whisper. They're on a date, obviously. Hey, all the reason more you should just start giving stuff away. Aw, come on. What's a little sweet drink in the name of love? I suppressed my laugh as Leon rolled his eyes and muttered under his breath before leaving for the kitchen. The scene in front of me reminded me of a conversation we had in the past. Oh, fancy flashback noises. But that was so cruel! Leon wordlessly handed me a tissue and I nodded my thanks before blowing my nose. What? There's more of this? Using illusion magic and Salazar's help, we had managed to have something called a movie night. Leon tells me this is a common pastime from his homeland, but this doesn't seem fun right now. Leon seemed to understand my hesitation and turned towards me. This sounds very misleading. I shook my head vehemently. It's not that. I want to know what you used to do for fun when you were back home, too. I just can't see how this is fun. Will it be sad? A bit of a glitching going on there with the sprites. The story turned out to be the love story between two people who ended up together despite Sylvia rejecting David at first. Although I kind of thought the pickup line about it hurting when you fall from heaven is kind of cute, Leon says it's something they call cheesy. The movie ended with David making her the most delicious looking dessert to ask her out on a date, and an idea suddenly struck me. Leon! Startled, Leon looked up at me from behind the counter. I couldn't wait, so I rushed over to tell him. Leon, what if we made a dessert? No, I mean for the cafe. My cafe. Do you remember that illusion we watched? How did they have a human movie in an isekai world? Yeah. But like they don't have the concept in the first place and someone would have had to like film it. Yes, in the end, David makes Sylvia a dessert, right? If he can do that to win over her heart, I'm sure you could come up with something new to win over everyone's heart here. Leon didn't respond right away. Maybe we'll find some lovely new ingredients while adventuring, and it could inspire you to create something amazing. Although, everything in this cafe is so good, I'm not sure how it could be beat. Smiling, I rested my elbows on the countertop and leaned forward. What do you say, partner? Are you ready to create a masterpiece? A smile appeared on Leon's face and I felt like it was matching mine. Glitching. Quickly making our preparations, we left for the forest at the crack of dawn. I like how he has like a pan strapped on his side. And he's carrying another, like a mixing bowl on his back. I mean, yeah, I guess. Suddenly it kind of makes sense. The deeper we made it into the forest, Leon's confidence became shakier. That's the wrong spirit. You gotta make like Shokugeki no Soma. As if you could ever make something that tastes bad. Sometimes Leon had the habit of saying the most contrary things out of embarrassment. I feel like the saves don't actually matter, but... Okay. Well, maybe you should try making something awful right now. Why not? It's about time for our next meal, right? Grinning, I turned back to face Leon. He was kneeling on the floor, rummaging through his backpack. He sometimes takes things too seriously, but that's endearing in its own way. An hour ago was a long time ago. If there was anything I learned while being an adventurer, it was that I was meant to be alert all the time. Yet at that very moment, I forgot my own teachings, and before I knew it, I felt myself falling backwards. Oh. Ah! I felt myself fall on damp, unyielding earth. Having braced myself for the fall, I made a quick assessment for injuries. Good. Nothing seems broken. I let out a sigh, looking around what seemed to be a cavern. The only light source was above, much, much higher than I could reach. Well, how did she fall? Okay. Oh, I think I hear Leon. Leon, watch your... Oh my god! My warning came far too late, as I saw Leon stumble through the same hole that I had fallen through minutes earlier. Without thinking, I moved myself in order to break his fall and found myself cradling Leon. Whoa, 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 spicy. CG! He's warm. It was a mundane observation, wow, heartbeat sound, but we had never been this physically close before, I realized. Our faces were close enough for me to be able to count his lashes. Who the hell does that? Realistically! Are you okay? My voice seemed deafened by how loud my heart was beating because it's really loud. His voice sounded just as quiet. I couldn't help but wonder if he could hear my heart beating too. And I never realized how beautiful his eyes were. Up this close, I could see my reflection in them. You're lucky I was here. I warned you, didn't I? Too late though. You're no angel, you know. He glanced away from me, and I felt my heart skip a beat, but it's been skipping this entire time. Seriously, I think these two need to go to a doctor. Well, excuse me, princess. I moved my arms, letting him fall to the ground. I tried to ignore his indignant glare or the violent blush that spread over his cheeks as I busied myself in packing up the items that spilled out of his backpack. I see an opening up ahead. Let's make our way through it and see what's on the other end. The opening led to an impossibly long and cramped tunnel, forcing us to crawl at some points. When we emerged out on the other end, we still found ourselves in a ditch. This one was deeper than the previous one, though. Let me see if I can climb up. Unfortunately, the mud-packed walls were too slippery for me to get a decent hold on it. The sun had begun to set as well. Letting out a frustrated sigh, I kicked the wall. I can't believe I got us trapped in here. Suddenly, a cup of warm liquid was placed in my hands from behind. Huh? He shrugged with a small smile and sat on a log piece, then patted the seat next to him. Why is there a log in a cavern? I quietly sat down beside him, sipping the warm drink in my hand. It's nice. Refreshing. I didn't know I needed this. Moments of silence passed between us, but they weren't uncomfortable. You're surprisingly calm about this whole fell into a ditch situation. His words made my face feel warm. Thankfully, we only had the moonlight for company, or else it would be difficult to talk myself out of this. Thanks. My words were muffled into my cup, but I could hear Leon trying very hard to stifle a laugh from beside me. Shut it. Before I could help it, a giggle escaped my lips, too. After our mini laughing fit subsided, Leon spoke with a gentler tone than any I have heard before. Sure. Want to take the bed? I patted the log we were both sitting on. Oi, you. Another laugh escaped my lips as I pinched his cheeks, and our laughter continued into the night. Honestly, though, don't sleep on logs. That's not comfortable. The night came and went. I woke up feeling a lot more refreshed, and the smell of something wonderfully appetizing greeted my nose. Rubbing my eyes, I blarily looked over to the source of the delectable scent. Who are you calling a sleepyhead? My only answer was a chuckle. Sitting up, I stretched from side to side. Something smells really good. Looking over at Leon, I noticed he seemed to be cooking something on his frying pan. Oh, hey! Did you finally learn to light a fire by yourself? That smells amazing. Leon, what is it? I was standing beside him by now. He looked up at me, smiling. Why would something like that give me a fluttering feeling? Leon pointed to the side of the ditch, opposite to where we had entered from. He handed me a bowl of delectable mushrooms. I took a bite almost immediately. Oh my, Leon. This is so good. You've got to add it to the Cafe at Amor's menu. That would be a lot of mushrooms. They're so good though, I wouldn't mind. Leon leaned in close, and his voice dropped down to a whisper. Oh no. I gasped, playing along with his joke. Now that would be terrible. We can't let that happen. Perhaps we should start rationing the mushrooms. Rationing. No fun. Maybe they grow really fast, so we won't have to ration that badly. Stopping mid-sentence, Leon's gaze was now fixed on the wall where the mushrooms grew. He rushed up to it, inspecting the mushrooms at a closer glance. What's wrong? No, that's good news. Now they're not gonna dehydrate. Ah! Do you think there's water behind here? Turning around to face me, Leon gripped my shoulders and spoke more excitedly than I had ever seen him speak before. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, somewhat, I think. I guess what you're saying is that if there's a lot of water back there, we can flood the ditch, correct? Oh. Also, that sounds kind of like an insult. I grinned at him. You better collect all your things in that case. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's max damage. I waited for him to pack his backpack, and I saw Leon hesitate on where he should put his unwashed frying pan. I suppose if you hold on tight and this goes according to plan, it'll wash itself. A grimace flitted across his face, but he listened to me and gripped it with both hands. As if that weapon of his would fight both monsters and men. He's always so honest with his expressions. Taking a deep breath, I held the sword above my head and brought it down on the cavern wall. The rock facade began to splinter, and both of us shielded ourselves from the stone fragments. The water came flooding in before I could even react, and with all my might, I began swimming upwards. Ah! The force of the water rushing in and upwards had washed both of us to the surface. It patted him on the back. Maybe a bit too hard, it seems. I used a quick wind spell in order to dry ourselves in our personal belongings. Fantastic! I wasn't entirely sure if this was going to work, but that was absolutely genius of you. Looking over, I found Leon lying motionless on the floor. Uh-oh. Leon? It's almost like I can see his HP fell to critical levels. I can carry you, Leon. No, really. You're well within my weight limits for lifting. By the time I had gotten Leon up and running, evening had begun to set. It was dark by the time we managed to eat something. We were huddled by the fire, finishing up the last of our meals. An eerie sound caught both our attention, and we looked at each other in alarm. It almost sounds like scuffles and hoofbeats at once. I raised a finger to my lips, and Leon nodded, pursing his lips. Pulling out my sword from its sheath, we stepped into the forest together. Without thinking much, I reached out to hold his hand. Don't want you to get lost. But truthfully speaking, it sounded a bit like an excuse to my own ears. We came across the clearing soon enough, and what we saw took our breaths away. Whoa. Neighing sounds. They're not stopping, they keep neighing. There was a herd of unicorns on the other end of the clearing. Scattered over the floor were crystals unlike anything I'd ever seen. The unicorns were instinctively shying away from the crystals. While I had been focused on the unicorns, Leon had gone ahead and picked up one of the crystals. They're unicorn eggs. I don't know. I reached out to pick up one of the crystals. I was about to say unicorn eggs. Ouch! It was searingly hot. Even the briefest of touches left a scald on my fingers. I'm fine, really. But Leon wouldn't hear me, instead grabbing the hand I had injured and inspected it in the moonlight as best as he could. My response felt like it was stuck in my throat. Leon looked up to me, and when our gazes met, it felt like time had stopped entirely. That was where the problem was. Being honest was not easy. I'm not used to showing any form of weakness. This feels strange. Why would you randomly collect a thing that you don't know what it is? I don't know. I was barely registering his words, instead choosing to focus on how his hands were holding me steady. He's always there, supporting me. Leon's the one person I would be most adrift without. From the day we had met, his presence had slowly grown in my life, and it was at this stage I realized how irreplaceable he had become. We were close, and yet neither of us made any effort to move apart. Maybe I could have said something when Leon's nose brushed against mine and he paused, but I didn't. Whoa. Taking that signal as an affirmative, he pressed his lips against mine, and I did not hesitate in kissing him back. It wasn't fireworks. It was the feeling of looking up at the starry sky above. It didn't feel dramatic in any way. It just felt right. So much better than I could have imagined it. As we pulled back from each other, I could see the fierce blush spread across Leon's cheeks. It was bright, even in the dim light. Honestly, the Sushi's, the lighting in them is really good. Before I could retort at him for using my own line on me, he left to gather the crystals. I could hear him laughing softly. I could only watch on, smiling so widely that my cheeks began to hurt after a while. Back at our camp, Leon held a handful of the crystals in his hand. Do you forget about the fact that the main character just burned her hand on those? Holding it up against the campfire, he frowned intently at them. They do look very pretty, to be honest. It smells like paper. I suppose paper does have a smell. So they have salt here, but not mint? Okay. I leaned in slightly, wondering if I could get a scent of this elusive herb in the crystals, but leaning in brought its own surprise. Oh, huh. It doesn't feel warm at all. In fact... I reached out to tentatively touch the crystals. We have no self-preservation instincts. He didn't manage to move his hand away in time, though, and I was pleasantly surprised to feel coolness at my fingertips. Leon, these ones in your hands, they feel cold. Leon looked back at me with a perplexed expression. Look! I grabbed a handful of the crystals from his hand, smiling at the way it turned into a fine crumble with pressure. We should check if these are edible. I'm sure you can make the most beautiful desserts with it. Ah, yes, the clumsy cafe way. The first question we ask. Can we eat it? This thing that I burned my hand on? Once we were back in town, we asked sorcerers and physicians to check for any potential poisons or health complications. There were none, thankfully. When dusted on foods, it added a refreshing taste to desserts and kept them cool for longer. Looking at Leon put together the final touches on the most beautiful dessert I had laid my eyes upon, I gasped as he stepped back. Leon, it looks amazing! That's very cute. He glanced towards me. Yeah, get him to feed it. Nodding, I leaned forward and opened my mouth, ready for a bite of bliss. Waiting. I like her mouth there. The blush on Leon's cheek started growing rapidly, and I saw him gulp audibly before murmuring something under his breath. Don't you want to let me try it? With a lot less aggression than his embarrassment seemed to suggest, he scooped up a spoonful of the dessert and held it out for me. Whoa, it's beautiful, he says, staring at the protagonist. Grinning, I closed the space between the spoon and myself, taking the bite. Oh my stars! This is so good! Because it's true, I guess. Yet there was no hiding that he was pleased with the outcome too. I can't explain it to you well enough. Here, try some! I held out some for him to try. He just looked from the spoon in my hand to my face and back. Of course! Open up. He seemed to be almost analyzing the flavors as he took a bite. Chewing with a concentrated frown, his face soon relaxed into a smile. He sounds like me when I'm cooking. It's like anything you make yourself doesn't taste as good to yourself. This is some kind of weird thing with the human brain. Wow, that's high praise in your books. Any progress is good progress, Leon. I pat him on the back, ignoring the indigent huff I got in return. Hi, Belforsons! And blueberry tree stumps. Anyway, have you thought up of a name for this? Title drop. I look back at the dessert, the sparkling swirls of crystal around it, the delicate decorations, the tantalizing way the flavors danced over my taste buds. It was love at first bite. Appetite Amor, that's perfect! Yeah, that was nice and short. Okay, it's not the end. Alright. Whoa, this queue is so long. Squeezing my way through the crowd outside Cafe Amor, I heaved a sigh once I made it through the door. That rhymed. Leon was behind the counter instead of the kitchen. I weaved my way through the crowds and towards the counter. Looks like someone could use some help. Leon smiled towards me while packing up a handful of Galaxy Jelly cookies. Well, that sounds delicious. I want some. I'm serious, Leon. Do you want me to help out? Yes, but I wanted to drop by before I left. I'm glad to see this place is doing well. Not true. They're here because you do such a great job, you know. I smiled towards Leon brightly, who returned it in kind. I think a customer cleared their throat in order to catch our attention. Or more likely Leon's, as he was still in the middle of packing her cookies. She's probably going like, yo, you two go get a room. Best be off then. With one last smile and a wave, I left the cafe. Grinning to myself, I pulled out the snack I'd swiped from the store and took a bite. I'll pay him back next time, of course. He was just far too busy today. Or I could get something extra for him during this adventure. After coming back from our shared adventure, we decided to continue doing what we did best. We never saw Salazar again, but Leon was far more confident in running the cafe. What the heck happened to the original owner? You think he got reverse isekai'd? Look at the... Now he's running a cafe in our world! It was more successful than ever, and I was more than happy for him. My adventuring had been going immensely well since then too, with the credit of discovering a new culinary ingredient. Leon's ability of nullifying poison has made him really popular too. I don't think poison is normally supposed to burn you. That's not really how it works, but okay. Yet this fame has not allowed us to spend as much time together. We have been seeing each other less and less. I missed him. Not much was true. And there was so much unsaid, too. Perhaps there could have been something more with us. Oh no. Oh no. I want a kitty meal. Was there actually more than one ending, though? Belferson says depends on the poison, like from a spider bite. And yeah, but the one we were talking about was like there were like unicorn poop crystals that they were touching up. And then, that's what they were! You can't convince me otherwise, and she touched one and it burned her. That's not really... It's not like she cut herself on it. Yeah, I don't know. So I know this is a burger, and this is the pudding, and these are the little cat-shaped sauce packets, and these are like cat nuggets, but what the heck is this? In the back? What is this purple thing? Sweet potatoes don't look like that. Sweet potatoes are like orange. Yeah, but I think when you cut them up, they wouldn't look like this. I guess that's fair. I think there was, oh, look at all this delicious food. That's the thing that fell on the floor. I mean, that's the thing that fell on the floor. The phoenix flan. Yeah, but, it looks like there was more than one ending. You want to go get the other one, or want to move on to Monster Cafe? Cricket, cricket, cricket. Cricket. The art is pretty. It's generally pretty cute, but I feel like, yeah, it does feel really short. It's a little too self-contained, I feel like. So, yeah. It's because they wanted to keep it short since this was for a game jam, I'm pretty sure. So the pacing is kind of off. Okay, are we moving on to Monster Cafe then? Okie dokie. It was? I need to make a loading screen. After I finish these two song covers. Monster Cafe. You're cutting out a lot, Melly. Like every other syllable. Oh god, it's so loud! Every time it's really, really loud. Okay. I don't know why it automatically starts up so loud compared to everything else. Like every single game, I don't adjust first. Okay. Oh, right now I have to screen share this too. Okay, there we go. Okay. I don't remember what this... I don't think I read the description for this at all. I just stared at it. I was like, oh, cute art. And get the smaller one. It's too small. Enable the bigger one. Where did I put it? Oh well. I don't know where the other cup went. Okay. Another foggy evening in Moss Point. Blah. Nice art off the bat. An unequal measure of ominous and beautiful, and why is the sound so quiet now all of a sudden? Title screen sound is always the highest. Maybe a little on the ominous side tonight, considering I just lost my job. I thought I was doing so well, but I guess it didn't really matter in the end. I went in for my shift today and the place was empty. Not like the store itself was empty. The whole building was just gone, an empty dirt lot. That's not normal. I don't... the entire building got isekai'd. Like that little market never even existed. Mysterious? Absolutely. Sinister? Possibly. Improper firing procedure? Very likely. Typical Moss Point. Mysterious and vaguely sinister is a part of life here, but I guess you never expect it'll be your life that's thrown off balance. Until it is. Anyway, I've got a bit more on my mind right now. Like how I need to find a new job soon. Real soon. Rent is due in a week. Oh, tough luck. Let me turn the music back up. I like this smooth jazzy music. I walk this route a lot, like a lot, but I swear I've never seen this place before. Help wanted. Convenient. Oh, I thought it was zooming in on that eye that's on the signboard. It's empty? And this art is actually so nice. As I approach the counter, I see an apron draped on top of it. On top of that is a name tag with my name and a note. Need a job? Well, we need someone for the night shift. Be here tomorrow at 9 p.m. for training. Okay. More than a little spooky and suspiciously convenient. If I was them, I would turn around and run. I do really need a job, and there's eyes everywhere watching us. Look at all those eyes! There's eyes everywhere. Okay, honestly though, if you just got a job this easily, maybe you would take it. In this economy, even if it's sketchy, and they somehow know all your information and the fact that you're looking for a job and there's no one in the store. I've never worked a night shift before. First shift. Wait, was this an actual management game? Yeah, I don't have commands for Nightbot set up because I haven't figured that out yet. But at least it won't time you out for stuff anymore. Yeah, look at all these eyes everywhere. It's completely full tonight, but none of the patrons seem to be human. I see shadowy shapes weave in and out of low light. There's an impossibly tall figure at a tiny table with a tiny shot of espresso. Oh, that's so cute. It's a very cute image. Honestly, it would be terrifying if the juxtaposition weren't so cozy. Cozy. Despite the odd clientele, that's the best word I can muster for this place. I would go here. I'd love to work here, actually. Random suspicious eye people give me this job. Warm, calm, cozy. Need help with Nightbot? Later, eventually, at some point. I just happen to procrastinate a lot. I'll figure it out when I actually sit down and try, though. I look to the counter. This time, there's someone there, waiting. He wants to be the Cuphead. Am I making eye contact right now? Oh, I forgot my name tag. I'm clumsy. I procrastinate a lot too. Yeah, that's all of us. What resume? But I didn't submit a resume. Oh no. What was that? They showed me everything. How to steam milk, how to pull espresso shots, how to grind beans, etc. The usual cafe stuff. There was a lot of unusual cafe stuff too. How to interact with incorporeal beings, what to do if the walls started oozing, how to traverse the ever-shifting layout of the storeroom. That sounds like a nightmare. What to do if somebody wanted decaf coffee. Spooky stuff. Suspicious. What about the incomprehensibly small? As this explanation goes on, the more I feel like I'm about to get hit with a mini game that requires like memory. Oh no. I'll just use my judgment for everything. Oh, now it's straight up fourth wall breaking, and I do have to do a mini game. And I didn't get any of that. Wait, how do you do that? No. Oh. Cappuccino. Oh. I'll start with one shot. It's medium. Oh. I'm gonna cry. This art is really, really nice. Oh god, my memory is the worst. My memory is the worst. Do we? Yeah! Thank god. They better not put a timer on this. Handy eye chart. Cool. I saw syrup and automatically filled in maple. None. First thing I saw was some brined olives. A rusty washer that was on the floor. Glitter! Everyone likes glitter, right? I mean, this would be the obvious choice, but what if the other three? Okay, Belfry, you have fun lurking. Yeah, it has to be glitter. Yeah, we did! Oh man. Glitter is a plague upon this planet. Ending 4-4. That glitter end! Oh no! But everyone loves glitter! Oh my god. I feel like that has to be the fastest. Anyway, let's do olives next time. Skip. Wait, he did say the same one, right? Yeah, okay. No randomizer here. Now we save. Yeah, olives. What do you mean? You said we could... I'll chance it. So do I. A moth person. I don't know, Malik. Hello. Hello. Yes, today's my first day. I try to muster my most confident smile. I hope it says I absolutely know what I'm doing, because I don't. A little, yes. But soon, I'm sure this job will be second nature. It's okay. I love the vote of confidence. Uh-oh. Okay. Please. Okay, fine. If it was said, we have to pick it. Oh, I was supposed to be like, where'd the cup go? What sort of milk? Wait, did Mally say something and it cut out? Well. Wait, I'm gonna turn on the light first. It's still bright at 8 p.m. here. You got it. Name? Coming right up. I forgot already. History! Small mocha. Full milk. Mocha starts with 2 shots. Okay. kinds of weird stuff back there. Cookie crumbles, looks like snickerdoodle. A candied firefly, it's somehow glowing. A chili pepper, looks spicy. A pinch of dust, looks dry. Let me save. Cookie crumbles? Okay. Guess you're not a fan of snickerdoodle. Thanks, that's what we all aspire to. I think that went pretty okay, considering I appear to be the only human in this more than likely interdimensional cafe. The next few hours were pretty uneventful. Customers came and went. Most had pretty basic orders. Coffees, lattes, a pastry here and there. We did get really busy around 2 a.m. when a ton of fish people came in to order these strange crustacean-based sandwiches. I want to eat that. I'm also a fish. I needed help from Jonas on that one. Luckily, they were in and out fairly quickly. I'd occasionally go out and wipe the tables down. Folks are pretty good about busting their own dishes here. The atmosphere of the cafe was so relaxing, it caught me by surprise when Jonas announced last call. Had it almost been 8 hours already? Looks like I've got one last customer. Oh my god, they are seriously spooky. I don't know how I should feel about that. Oh, well, here I am. I try to muster another smile, one that says I am not deeply uncomfortable. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling a little out of my element here. I knew you would say that again. Dwarves hate small talk. That is a terrible choice. That's all I have to say. Absolutely. And your name? Coming right up. Freakishly huge. Yak's blood is a milk? A large... What was it? I have really bad memory. Large latte. 2 shots. But if it's a large... Oh my god, I have to do math. Clear liquid in a jar, labeled A Sense of Adventure. It sparkles a little. A powder labeled Memories of My Trip to Brisbane Land. Whose memories are these? Those are interesting. I want to do this one, so I will. Memories of My Trip to Brisbane Land. No, because we didn't add any. Oh gosh. Puns are the lowest form of comedy. However, I can't help but crack a little smile. I'm glad. Oh. They were a handful. Luckily for me, the last 10 minutes of my shift was not nearly as exciting. I made my way home through the fog just as the sun was coming up. Fifth shift? What? We just jump from first to fifth? What's with all these time skips? There have been ups and downs, but Jonas has been there to support me, and the customers have been really friendly. Way more friendly than my last job, actually. It's because see, that's why. It's because there's no humans here. We all know monsters are much more polite. I never see humans here, but most folks don't bat an eye. Well, except the bats. They do bat their bad eyes. Was this week somehow out of the ordinary? Wow, 2 instead of 1! Have you ever considered hiring more than 1 employee? Honestly, for a small cafe, two people is usually okay. Thank you. My friend from earlier. Oh, hello. Did you have a good week? They've always seemed a bit shy, but they seem especially withdrawn today. I like the second one. Let me save. Work is a great way to keep one's mind off of the monotony and disillusionment surrounding our meager existence. It's just the truth. It's okay. It's okay. What sort of milk? You've got it. The oil drum? Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's what lay means, right? I don't remember what this uses. Coffee and steamed milk. Oh yeah, brewed coffee. Okay. Equal. Okay, equal to the milk. Cinnamon, it's just cinnamon probably. A jar labeled Serenity Now, guaranteed to calm your nerves. A bottle labeled Liquid Courage. Hey, is this just whiskey? A tin that just says spiders. Okay. Yeah, but Mally said spiders first. You don't want to give him spiders? Okay. Serenity. Oh, they're happy. want to go back and give spiders. Anytime! The meaninglessness of life. I think I'm doing what any decent barista would, relating to the average office worker. Plus, it really seemed like they needed a little encouragement. Amazing. Now that you mention it, yeah, that's interesting. Okay. You mean you need to roast some coffee? No, he said wait, they said what they said. I'm not sure I want to know. Hello there. My name is Clumsy. I gesture at my name tag. You don't seem so chipper today. Rough week? I nod. This is a complete 180. Last time we spoke, it sounded like you really enjoyed your job, traveling and all that. Yeah, I kind of want to know too. Let's say, even though we're probably not going to go back to these. Except for the spiders. I really want to serve spiders. Oh, what a mood. Whoa, really? How so? In all honesty, yeah, management jobs really suck. Yeah, that would kind of be really mean though. Okay. Job dissatisfaction is a real problem. That sounds difficult. It sounds like you need a little time away. It's only been a week since they started their new job. Flash get. Okay. Room for milk? As bitter as the state of your heart. Coming right up. KC 100 I-35 Strato tankers worth. They do order large sizes all the time. No milk. Blacker than the blackest black times infinity. A dark bottle that just says do not. No override. What do we put in the coffee? Yeah, we've probably got to get a game over, just like we did with the glitter. I just want to say I just want to do a dark bottle that says do not. That's what I'd put in my coffee. It's okay. Relating to depressed office workers is my job. It's not me, it's the weird magical ingredients we have in the back. That would mean a lot more if we got paid more for this job. It's just a drip coffee, but I'm glad. The rest of the day passed relatively easily. Well, if you don't count the werewolf-looking fellow who ordered a cappuccino in a gallon size. It's okay, we've had crazier options than that. A true cappuccino should not exceed 180 milliliters, by the way. I have to remember that because I'm gonna forget. Anyway, that means my first week at this job is complete. Why do I feel like this game ends with us getting fired? I had no idea you were still here. Okay. What a week. Not a typical Moss Point weird week. That, but turned up slightly. Lost my job mysteriously, found a new one mysteriously. And it's shaping up to be a lot more enjoyable than my previous job. "24th shift!" This time skip. It's been a few weeks. I think I've got the hang of this cafe job. Aside from that time I got lost in the storeroom for an hour. Or that time I opened that jar labeled nope. I mean, who wouldn't be curious? Or that other time I forgot to feed the coffee roaster. I've absolutely got the hang of this. And I've got a few regulars. How exactly does the roasty make coffee? Is it are they drinking? Is it like the feline scenario? That one cat the big cat that eats poop. I mean eats coffee beans and you use their poop to make coffee. Sounds of crashing and clanging can be heard in the back, and what sounds like metallic screeching. It sounds like you should take care of that. Funny how this sort of thing has become the new normal. I look towards the door excitedly when I hear the bell. I've really been hoping they'd stop by today. Oh. It's okay, we can save. The moth or the demon? Oh, look, it's a glass jar full of eyeballs. Who do we pick? What? Poppy? This is a very bad time for the music to suddenly get louder for some reason. I'm having trouble hearing you. I mean, it is a route split. Ah, let's go Poppy. Yes, not a week into your new position. Wonderful! What about your job? You're normally supposed to sort that out before you make travel plans. That's probably wise. What if every time we pick that... If we pick that for every time it shows up, we'll get a special ending that's just like true barista. Doesn't waste any time. Oh. Not gonna be this time. Hey, going to visit. I don't know who that is. Wait, those are real landmarks? I want to go there. Yeah. Are you gonna give us a big tip? Oh. Oh. Oh, there's only two choices here for us, honestly. Either something cute or something tasty. Do we value cuteness more or edibility more? This is the question. I mean, technically, cloth also deteriorates. We have conflicting opinions here. You know what really lasts a long time? Taxidermy! You know what? Since can't choose between cute and tasty, You're going with spooky. Oh god. Is this going where I think it's going? You already decided your order? This is very unprofessional, that is all I can say. I'm crushing on them a little, maybe they picked up on it. Take your time, provided the line doesn't form behind you. Hey. Oh! Sure, text me some photos. Surprise you? I can do that. No, I can't. What sort of flavor are you feeling? That's me. Let's see. Some sort of large tea latte would be nice. Did they specify a size? Oh yeah, large. Actually, we specified it. Worm? Worm? Is that a worm? Are we going with worm? I don't think the chart tells us about... Yes. Yeah. I'm actually doing that. What sort of tea should I use? A handful of sticks. Mr. T. Mr. T? What is Mr. T? It says... But it says black or green tea! Okay. It's true. Maybe a little flavor? Did we specify? No. Metal shaping. Yeah, I feel like vanilla and worm milk goes really well together. Wonder if I can impress them with some latte art. Well, they are taking photos. Camera. Wonder if I can add something to make this drink even better. There's all kinds of weird stuff back here. World's largest ball of yarn. Yeah, let's do that. Glad to know you like worm milk. We have impressed you every single time. Who says that? Yeah, but who? Okay, God. I'm getting the feeling that this isn't like a romantic thing going on. I think it's genuinely like a friendship route, but you know what? We're going all the way. I love when you stop by, Poppy. How could I not? Are we getting ditched? Oh. That somehow sounds kind of ominous. That doesn't help. A few days later. Poppy and I have been texting back and forth a lot. Look at the hearts! As promised, they were sending me all sorts of neat roadside landmarks they found. Pictures of a floating lighthouse, a spooky, misty coastline, a selfie with Bigfoot. Who knew all of this stuff was around here? All I ever saw when traveling was that big thermometer. Their texts were a welcome distraction. And the more we texted, the more I found myself longing to travel as well. Maybe one day I can have my own adventure outside this weird little town. Maybe soon. But first, Jonas will have to hire a third staff member first. 2 weeks go by. I open it up, and it's a fun Chotsky, as promised. It's going to look great on my computer desk. Or did they taxidermy? There's something else in the box. It looks like a hand-drawn ticket. Is that like a plane ticket? Ooh. Wow, that's really appreciated. I'd love to. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get some pictures. Thank you, Poppy. This is going to be really great. For that giant eyeball. I don't know what that is. Spooky Zone in the House of Mysteriousness. Road trippin', yeah! I like that. We have two of the endings. We got the one where we got fired for putting glitter. Yeah. I think probably not gonna do an entire full route. But I want to serve spiders. That's all I want. I think it's on the first page. Yeah, here we go! A tin that just says spiders. They did like the spiders. Let's do the skip. Well. Aww. Oh, I feel bad now. Sad. I drip coffee. Well, since we did start like half an hour late, we can noom food through one. I feel like it's gonna end up in like a... It's not gonna be like a actually the Moss route. I think they're just not gonna show up at the end.
Wait, did it automatically... It automatically put us on the Poppies route again. What? Huh. Well, okay.